Hey, what's up YouTube? Alex here, and I've done, countless videos about profitable data-driven sports betting strategies. I love to do that type of content. I give out my bets every single day for free on social media, either Twitter or Twitch. I think those are the two platforms where it's easiest to give out plays before the lines move. A lot of people ask me to do full-length YouTube videos with my bets, but that's a little tough because the odds are always changing. But regardless, this year, I'm up over $220,000 sports betting, at least at the time of recording this video. Hopefully I don't go on a horrible losing streak or something like that and end up on the year below $200,000, but most likely that won't happen. But regardless, I've done so much content talking about profitable, data-driven sports betting, ways to get an edge, ways to win, make money at sports betting long-term, but I haven't spent a ton of time discussing the cons of sports betting. What sucks about sports betting? What are the negatives? So I always want my content to be genuine, truthful, whatever. So sports betting is amazing if you invest in your betting education and learn about sharp data-driven sports betting strategies like arbitrage, like positive EV betting, like middle betting. You can make a lot of money and grow your bankroll, but of course there's also some downsides of sports betting. And that's what I kind of wanted to go through in this video, is what are the hard truths and the bad things about sports betting that maybe aren't intuitive. So without further ado, let's get into it. And if you enjoy this type of content on sharp, data-driven sports betting, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know any video ideas that you have for me. Like, I love making sports betting content, so if you have content ideas that you want to see, drop them below in the comments. I'm happy to make them. I've done tons of YouTube videos, so on basically every single topic, I'm always looking for new ideas. But anyways, the first hard truth of sports betting, and you don't really notice this until you start actually making money, is sportsbooks hate winners. They hate winners. So what a lot of sportsbooks do is if you start beating them, if you go on a winning streak, if you show that you're a profitable bettor who's getting an edge in winning long term, they'll cut down your bet sizes. So for example, one sportsbook that I started using in January of 2024 was Dabble. This was a super exploitable fantasy site, and in just 1 month, January, I was able to make a lot of money on this sportsbook, $30,000. Again, all my plays were given out for free on either Twitch or Twitter, and that was awesome. But if you look at my profit graph for Dabble, what you'll notice is, Alex, this is a little weird. You had a huge spike in January, you made a ton of money, but then it kind of went flat. Why did that happen? And what you'll see is Dabble ended up limiting my bet size to like $27 a play. So I was super profitable. So what they ended up doing is I used to be able to play slips for $500, $1,000, is they cut down my bet size, and now I can only bet things for 27 bucks and like 60 cents, which sucks. That sucks, but it's kind of part of the game. Another fantasy site called Bettor I started using during baseball season, and you'll see I had a huge winning streak. I made like, $50,000 in a month, and then my profit graph goes relatively flat. So even worse than Dabble limits me to like $27 per play. On Bettor, they have a daily cap. They only let me bet $100 a day, which is crazy. Once I bet $100, I can't even bet anymore. So this isn't even a limit per wager. This is a limit on how much I can gamble in a 24-hour time span, which obviously sucks, right? Let's say your ROI is 20%. Well, if a sportsbook only lets you bet $100 a day, you're capped at $20 in expected profit. Your ROI is incredibly good, 20%, but if you're only able to bet $100 per day, that means $20 a day. So long story short, sportsbooks don't like winners, right? It sucks, but if you're profitable, and it doesn't matter what betting strategy you're using, right? If you're using your own model, if you're using arbitrage, middle betting, positive EV, sportsbooks are gonna cut you off. right? You're not going to be able to make $5 million on DraftKings without them realizing. They will cut down your bet size, if you're consistently making money on them. Obviously, this isn't really the end of the world. In 2022, 2023, I've been on a limited accounts for a long time now. There's always new books popping up. There's always new edges to exploit. So this is, kind of the reason you want to be using multiple sports books. In, the middle of this year, when I didn't have any limits on bettor, I gave out a ton of bettor plays on social media. Now I can only bet $100 per day. So I need to find new sports books that I can take advantage of where I can exploit edges. So long story short, limits kind of suck, but as a sports bettor, there's hundreds of books in the United States. So ideally, you're constantly getting new sports books, using as many books as possible, and constantly looking for new edges. So the second hard truth of sports betting is edges are always coming, but they're also always going. If there's a really profitable strategy, a really exploitable market on a sports book, an easy way to make money, get a positive ROI, these sports books aren't stupid. A lot of times these edges get removed. So I'll give you a simple example from bettor. Again, bettor is the sports book I just explained in the last clip. I made $70,000 in like a month, maybe a month and a half, something like that. Then they limited me to $100 max betting size per day. So you can see my profit graph kind of went flat. But anyways, when I started using bettor, what I noticed is because this is a fixed payout fantasy site, is there were a lot of opportunities in MLB correlation. So for example, you can see in these two slips I ran and made $9,000 profit from, I paired Crawford over 1.5 hits with Cal Raleigh over 1.5 hits. So both of these plays are positively correlated. On bettor, any two boosted picks plus a regular pick, you're always going to be getting a 20x payout. But what I noticed is, hey, if Crawford and Raleigh, if both of these plays have very good value, they're also positively correlated, which makes this play even better. If the Mariners have a great game, if JP Crawford gets over 2 hits, 2 or more hits, and the Mariners are having a good game, then that also means Cal's more likely to go over, right? If the Mariners are having a great game, they're getting on base, players are more likely to get more at-bats and go over together. So long story short, Crawford positively correlated with Cal over 1.5 hits. So I made $9,000 profit on, essentially correlating these MLB plays. And the next day when I went to bettor, I tried to run another correlated pair of player over in hits, 2 players from the same team to both go over in hits, and it was blocked. They just tell me, hey, you can no longer do this. So essentially, I exploited this edge on bettor, and they got rid of it. So I somewhat adjusted. So for example, you can see in this next play, I ended up correlating the MLB again. And you can see here, I had Dylan Cease. The Padres were playing the Nationals. Cease is a pitcher for the Padres. I had Cease over in strikeouts, and then a bunch of Nationals players under in singles, under in hits plus runs plus HRRs, or hits plus runs plus RBIs or HRRs. So again, if Dylan Cease has a great game pitching for the Padres and goes over 6.5 Ks, then Nationals players are more likely to go under. So these plays are positively correlated. But again, once I started taking bettor for a lot of money, they ended up removing these combinations of being able to pair pitcher over in Ks, opposing hitters under in hits or bases or singles or any other positively correlated, combinations. So long story short, correlation, it used to be super profitable on bettor for the MLB, but unfortunately, they removed it. I gave out a ton of slips on bettor that made the community, the gambling community, I gave these plays out for free on Twitter. I ended up taking a lot of money from bettor, so they cut it off. They got rid of it, right? They got rid of this profitable edge that we were exploiting in MLB correlation. So the third hard truth of sports betting is simple is better. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is there's a lot of people who like to make things complicated. Hey, I have this special model that outsmarts the sports books, betting on the MLB. The truth of the matter is sports betting is simple. Nobody has a crystal ball, right? When I started gambling, I wanted to get rich, right? Like everyone wants to make money, get rich sports betting, but there's no magic way to turn, $1,000 into $100,000. Sports betting is about getting an edge, understanding sharp, proven, data-driven, profitable strategies like arbitrage, positive EV betting, middle betting, and correlation, and then grinding, exploiting them. Sportsbooks are always your enemy, right? They're gonna limit you. If you're super profitable, they're gonna cut down your bet sizes, which is why you constantly need to be getting new sportsbook accounts. If an edge is super exploitable, for example, we just discussed MLB correlation on bettor. If a book is super exploitable and there's a lot of money you can make, eventually that edge may go away. These sports books are constantly adjusting. But the truth is you just have to continue to grind, right? There's no crystal ball. There's no handicapper who wins every single bet. There's nobody with their own model. Who on earth do you think can have a model that's better than FanDuel Sportsbook? Right? Like these people who are like, yo, my own model, my independent model says this game's going to have 10 runs and FanDuel has the total for an MLB game at 7. I mean, FanDuel's a multi-billion-dollar company with teams of data scientists, tons of data sources. They're taking bets, adjusting their lines based on where action's coming in. There's nobody with a crystal ball or a perfect model. The way you're going to make money sports betting is continuing to get new sports books and grind out these edges, right? The books you're always at war with, but if you put in the time, sign up for all these books, take advantage of the profitable promos, hit arbitrage bets. Arbitrage is a way to make risk-free money when two sports books have such different odds that you can bet the over on one book, the under on another book, so you're hedging for a profit. Arbitrage is actually how I started sports betting and made my, first $40,000. But again, the hard truth of sports betting is hard work pays off. There's no get-rich-quick scheme. There's nobody who's going to tell you what the parlay is to turn $10 into $1 million. That's not possible. But anyways, in this video, we went through some of the cons of sports betting, limits, edges getting removed, and also just how much BS there is in the industry. Nobody has a crystal ball and can tell you the future. I'm sorry, I wish that were the case, but it's not. So if you enjoyed this type of content, again, please like the video, comment any questions you have, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for your time.